Hey, more Shadowbringers. We're just going to talk about what's happened in the story since Holminster Switch, and then queue into the next one, which is Dohn Mheg. So before we queued into the first one, Hapax and I were talking about it's kind of cool that they've managed to save themselves some work by there being no weather or day-night cycles, and I'm starting to wonder, I wonder if they're gonna, part of the story will be unlocking weather and day-night, and sure enough, right after Holminster that happens. I thought that was really cool, and if you, go and talk to some of the Sky Watchers, the weather people, they'll tell you, are you kidding? It's always light here for certain zones. So I thought that was a neat concept. And I think, Hapax, you pointed out that, when we won Holminster, that everybody just looks sad instead of celebrating like normal. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if that's happened before, in some of our impactful things. I thought it was cool when you do the fairy thing in the first part of Mheg. It similarly, it was a weather effect, right? This whole shroud. I wonder if some guy
super bloomy.
I loved it. It was neat, and I wonder if some guy invented, guys, we got a better shader and particle thing that we can implement now. Can we have a story reason that there's a weird thing going on in every, at least in the beginning?
Oh, I love it though. I ended up doing the 60 Fate grind in Lakeland before knowing that there was weather and day-night there. So just the idea of putting that behind phasing of all things is pretty smart. And I wonder, it's actually interesting, do you think that was their idea first? Let's phase weather and day-night and then make a story based on that? Or if they came up with it during the existing story idea that they had.
Yeah. I don't know.
This is a pretty cool zone, though. I guess Ilmeg is supposed to be Kurthus. I don't know if we've been to the Shroud yet. That's probably the Great Wood area that we haven't visited yet. Anyway,
I just want to say...
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to add, I'm 50% on wanting to replace the summoner or the scholar fairies with the new fairies.
Mm-hmm.
And after this dungeon, it might creep up to 90%. We'll see what fairies are like. I don't know. I kind of like them, and the scholar fairies have been letting me down recently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You eventually get a big summon at the end. You get an angel or something like that.
I have some super fairy button. I wonder if it's related to this stuff. When the character forms a pact with Theo, the one you have to sweet talk in this chunk, I thought, is this just a scholar thing? But I guess
right on, yeah. Because we did that too.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I did with in my recollection of scholar lore, that's exactly what I did when I got the fairies that I use in battle, right? So it's that same kind of...
That's kind of a neat concept. So far, each of the expansions has had a theme job. Heaven's Word was definitely Dragoon. Stormblood was definitely Monk. I wonder if they're kind of taking that direction with Scholar in this one. Although this one's story is super cool so far. I'm way into Shadowbringers. You hear me bitch and moan about everything in Realm Reborn to present, but they're doing a pretty good job with it here.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with it. Can't complain. Broken record.
Hey, so you guys have finished the story, right? Matt and Flurwing?
Sorry, I was in the wrong job, Marstead.
Oh, shit. Can you cancel it?
Abort!
I was playing around with Gunbreaker. Yeah,
I think you have to say no. Well, given how high Gunbreaker's DPS is, we could probably queue in with Gunbreaker.
Yeah, let's just do 4 Gunbreakers.
Yeah. I was noticing that things were going really quickly in all my dungeons, and I thought that was more trusts than anything, but it's absolute. Gunbreaker DPS is very good.
I did finally try the trust for Holminster. It's a pretty neat system. You get some little bit of extra story, when you fight the big Sin Eater. Wow, this place looks like Whimsyshire in Diablo 3.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I know you love your big pulls, Dylan. You absolutely you live for them.
That's me.
So,
place looks like a golf course.
Do that. There's one mob in particular. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
Lally ho!
Gotta get that emote.
That's the end of the main story, is getting that emote. I don't know what...
It's not in my emote list.
You gotta do side quests.
Oh, side quest. Who does that?
That's what I'm
Emo
saying.
side quest.
You didn't finish the main story yet.
Oh,
You didn't
we've
get
got interrupting
do-
for the first time. It's cool.
I mean, you can do side quests to gain level top offs, or you can just do Castrum Praetorium over and over and over and over, right? That I did.
Who has interrupts in this now? It's tanks and some DPS, melee DPS only, maybe.
Melee DPS have one. Ranged have head graze. That is a
I
know
don't
if you've
have
seen any
anything.
mobs use it Apex, but this guy, the Foth, I think it's pronounced. Frogman.
He's the one. He tries to buff one of the allies. And whenever you get this dungeon and the tank does the big pull, no one kills that mob first.
But notice
in the
when
bad
we
groups.
go to one next time, you'll see they've got a separate cast bar for something that's interruptible. It's kind of cool looking.
No.
Because they've decided to make that a thing now since it works pretty well in WoW.
I'm a huge fan. I wish they'd given it to
Yeah.
the class that has nothing to do now.
Give you an interrupt to help out.
I would love
Boost your
that.
skill
That'd be,
cap a bit.
I would, because I'm a weird kind of, I guess, ex-WoW player where I don't really care about my DPS, but I would fucking, my rocks go off every time I get to interrupt in
Yeah,
the middle of healing.
it's a nice little skill cap increase thing. I agree, because DPS, like, it's such a subtle gradient to being good or bad, but, like, the benefit of getting an interrupt off is you get that immediate dopamine hit. This would have been way
Yeah.
harder if I hadn't have done that. I forget, healers do have interrupts in WoW, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the, because there's no DPS, right? So that's kind of your other job.
Something you do.
Or some kind of crowd control, which I do have they gave all of us a sleep ability, but I don't know if that, this game's just not tuned around that kind of thing.
I wonder if that works to interrupt, though, because, like, stuns will work if it's stunnable. We're checking out on the next one that does it.
Yeah, point it out to me. I missed it if it happened that time, but
I think it's the little frog dudes, the Foth guys. See
Okay.
if we see another one. The last session, I did not realize that Warrior got a new ability at like level 30. Because I got to like level 73 or something, and it said, hey, whenever you use Mithril Tempest, this good thing happens. I'm like, what the fuck is Mithril Tempest? Oh shit. I wasn't using that all last dungeon.
What does it do?
It's like an AoE combo ability. So, really good for dungeons where you're AoEing
Cool.
everything all the time. Like, just like if anyone was watching, why isn't he using... I didn't know it was a thing.
Ninja's new AoE is very good in the same vein. Just a combo finisher AoE. Don't know what I did without it.
Yeah, with us, Warrior's been a little bit behind on AoE for a while because our one good AoE ability is technically a cone. But now the cone combos into the AoE, and I guess you could probably use the AoE for like a pull, like as you run in, tag everything without having to cone him up. Okay, this frog guy, put your focus target on him or something. You should see him.
He's gonna try to buff the big beefy boy.
So it said interrupted. Who did it?
I did it.
Okay. That's cool that it floats over them and you can see it whether you got them targeted or not.
Paladin's got a similar thing too with AoE, and it feels really nice. I feel like it's the best AoE animation for the tanks. Of a Paladin of all things, which didn't used to have any kind of AoE.
Have you leveled Paladin much yet, or has it mostly just been Ninja and Gunbreaker throwing?
I've messed around a little bit with it, but I haven't really leveled it. I think Gunbreaker is going to be the go-to tank for me now.
Do you think you'll want to do Gunbreaker when we do 8-person instances over Ninja?
It depends on what level I'm at, but I probably will try. Yeah, I'll let you do the and I'll do an easy off-tank job.
I like having tank since we've got some. Sometimes you'll queue in and the other tank will be like really aggressive about everyone
I've
being
got a
new.
story for that. Yeah, the second trial, I had a tank that really wanted the main tank, and in the 5-10 seconds, I was checking his stats just to see, oh, has he done this a million times? Is this hard? I'll let him main tank. He's like, switch off your tank stats. I'm doing this. And he runs forward. I'm like, okay, if you're going to be a dick about it, then I'm going to take it from you.
There you go.
We sat there, I outplayed him basically and took it from him. And
Nice.
I basically made him beg, please
Candy
take off
cane.
tank stance. Please do it. It was kind of spiteful.
I like it. Internet win.
Spiteful.
What are you targeting the healer, bro?
Look like Magic Hammer. I don't know if that's an attack in the game yet. Have any of you guys leveled Blue Mage yet?
Not much.
It's fun. I recommend it. Like, they designed it to be just like leveling Blue Mage in Final Fantasy XI, and it's not really intended to be something you do in a group. It's just kind of like a fun little side quest. Because you get most of your XP by fighting stuff in the open world and learning abilities from enemies. I hope they expand it to be able to use it in, like, maybe all of the expansions up to, but not including the current one.
I just want to go get all the obvious skills. 1,000 needles.
Yeah. If you get 1,000 needles early, I was having a shitload of fun soloing, because, like, I was able to do some shenanigans with potions where I was able to kill a Cactuar that was, like, at the max level difference from me. And I happened to learn 1,000 needles from it, and it made leveling way easier.
Nice.
That was very, like, you did shit like that in Final Fantasy XI all the time, just trying to just barely eke by and hope for a random drop to make the game easier. There's a couple you learn from instance bosses, like I think you get Mind Blast from the Mind Flare in one of those really early dungeons.
Always good to have more reasons to run old content.
Yeah, for sure. Although in that case, you're probably not running it with anybody else.
I feel like we're not doing that right. Maybe we're doing that right.
No. I'm gonna have to stand on a geyser
You
or
want to
something.
watch where they go off and then move into that. Like,
Oh, like just after the geyser.
yeah, just keep paying attention, which is the most recent one that went off. The first time I messed up because I was zoned in on, I just used wildfire, I gotta get my deeps.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Candy Cane is such one of the most ridiculous tank busters I've seen.
Yeah, I know.
Squeaky Hammer.
They're pretty good, I think. See what you think about tanking, but knowing there's going to be a lot of new tanks, they give you, okay, learn how to do a tank buster. You can have a lot of bosses that do tank busters. There's going to be some positional stuff, that kind of thing. I think it helps out new gunbreakers that are new to tanking in general.
Sweet. I thought we wanted to jump into the space that just blew up.
Yeah, if you're in the one that just blew up, then it should be a vacant space. You can also tell the ones that are about to blow up have a more filled-in blue color than the ones that just spawned.
I guess I feel like I was not standing in them and was still getting hit sometimes. I must have been doing something wrong. I don't know if we'll have to see it again.
I'll take it.
I'm gonna greet anything that's goldsmith or carpenter. Level up that decent flare wing. Spend your money.
I know it. Gotta do it.
If you do end up thinking about grinding it out, you could really just use your money to do it. Let me know. I can tell you which 3 I have. Eventually decent to everything that drops in dungeons.
Gotta do my research on it. I do. It would get me more value out of the same thing I'm doing anyway, right? Running dungeons.
You definitely get more value out of decent thing drops from dungeons than you do from turning them in for seals. And I think you can level it all the way without actually leveling the crafter at all.
Oh, so I don't know what the high ticket items everybody wants to buy at 80, but there is I think it's a Weaver shirt that is going for about 10 million gil. If you get a Weaver to 80, I feel like that's going to be pretty lucrative.
That's my last.
Wow.
I didn't show this at the start, but I've continued the tradition of having Fisher and almost all of my crafters to 80 long before finishing the story. I'm at the point where I can't spend my scripts because you need to finish the main story to spend scripts.
Nice.
And they're like, well, no one's ever going to level their crafters before they finish the story, right? So we don't need to. Yeah. On final sting, okay. Oh man, that feels awesome. Got this AoE that always direct hit crits. There's that many bees stacked on each other.
It's a big ass flamethrower too.
The exclamation points.
Yeah, Machinist is just the War Crimes class. You got your Bio Blaster.
Yeah, it is. Just needs a full automatic next. Good to go.
The only reason I'm pretty sure that's pronounced as Foth, I mean, maybe they said it in the MSQ voice acting, I didn't notice it, but there's like a huge fate chain in Mheg, and all of them are puns on Foth. Like, go Foth. So maybe that's another reason to make punny fate names so people can pronounce your shit.
It's like pun conveyance.
Yeah, right. Punveyance.
The truest form of conveyance.
Mm-hmm. Not that I would recommend a multi-hundred hour grind to anybody, but this is the expansion to get into crafting, because there's a completely busted one macro rotation at max level to craft everything 100% HQ rate every single time.
Yeah.
Super easy.
But not leveling, like you still have to think about it.
You have to get to 71. Once you get to 71, you have a one macro button. But leveling you can do mostly by buying stuff from the market board and turning them in through leaf quests. But if you can get even one craft to 71, it's so easy once you get there. I do stream work or watch Netflix or whatever. And if you're logging in every day to do Cactpot or whatever, you check the GC turn-in list. Now that it has a thing in the tooltip that tells you whether you can buy it from a shop, if you see something in the GC turn-in list that's buyable at a shop, just go buy it for a couple thousand gil and get your free XP. You can level your crafters all the way to cap like that without ever actually playing them. I don't think I crafted a single item during Heaven's Word or Stormblood. I just did GC turn-ins.
Nice.
Oh, that ability. Fodder.
Ball. Blocking?
saplings. Oh, I see. Stand in the way of the...
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. He's eating his seeds. So you want to body block them.
You get a buff.
That's cool. You eat it instead of him eating it, basically?
Yeah. I don't know what the buff does. It just says growing. Maybe it's like cumulative.
Did it make you guys bigger? Are you super tall?
Yeah. Wow, I can't really tell, but I think so.
Tall Lalafels.
Too tall. Oh, we all
So
stuck.
almost all of us have roots. We all have roots. Okay. Can we attack our own root? Yes. Give me a sec to target. Okay. Oh, now I see. Now we gotta get out of this thing to body block it. I think there's 5 of them,
Got
and we
one.
can only get 4 blocked. That's cool.
I'm fully mature.
Look how tall you are. Big ol' Lalafels.
See, this is why being a non-Lalafell or a tall Lalafell sucks. Now I feel like I'm running through molasses. Like this giant legs animation.
Froggy.
The frog is suboptimal for single target, but sometimes I like to do it anyway.
It looks cool.
It looks cool.
Especially since I'm guessing it scales with your model size. So. A really big frog. Any of you guys played Bloodstained yet?
No.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
super good.
that's pretty cool.
It's got so many JoJo references too. Like there are already enough of them in normal Castlevania.
So I didn't appreciate that until recently, that everybody, it's Castlevania's spiritual successor, even. It's not just inspired.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Kind of glamour in here. Ooh,
Nah,
Cool.
that's pretty sweet.
Don't touch it.
That's what?
Don't touch.
That was the name that popped up.
Oh.
Don't talk. Took. I can't do Gaelic. Irish or those sorts of. Shell crown.
We're gonna be princesses. Oh.
Nice.
place reminds me of Inside Cyan's Dream. Fantasy VI.
Yeah. It looks just like it. I wonder if that's on purpose. Oh, you know, the direction we've been going with these crazy fairies, I could see that being the final boss, the Larry, Curly, and Moe. We'll see. That's pretty cool. I love when they do that. did a really good job of adding a lot of like brand new Final Fantasy XIV exclusive stuff and the occasional thing that references back, like the dwarves and the Ronso and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there's a gradation. Sometimes they're really subtle about what they take, and sometimes they're really explicit.
Really on the nose, yeah.
Sometimes it's just thematically, and you can.
Mm-hmm.
There's some examples later on that are just pure thematic, absolutely nothing of a direct reference, but you know what they're taking from.
Right,
It's
where you get something
really
like the
stuff.
Evil East raids that are like, they literally have the characters from those games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good mix.
I kind of like I like both approaches, to be honest.
Where it's literally Kefka.
Yeah, right, yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. The whole Omega levels were pretty fun.
It really was, yeah.
Now I forget the lore explanation. Is it your guys' opinion that those were coming from other, like not the first or the source, but other versions of the universe?
I thought that they said something that these were like legends or histories from other worlds, other shards. The fact that there's 14 shards make it really suspicious, right? Like, clearly the first that we're in right now doesn't directly map to Final Fantasy 1 or anything like that, but when I first heard about the whole multiple shards thing, I was wondering if that was the direction they were ultimately going to go, that the other shards are the other Final Fantasy games. I don't remember exactly how the Final Fantasy 15 crossover event went. I don't think it said anything that like he was from one of the shards. Noctis, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, the only character in the series who like is literally recurring across multiple entries is Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Because he gets trapped in the dimensional whatever. Been a couple of years since I played 5. Cleft of Dimension.
That sounds right. Yeah, I always move with my Tenchi Gen and ruin it.
What is it? How does it work?
It's the ability everybody complains about for Ninja at 70, where instead of a series of 1 to 3 button presses for your ninjutsu, it forces you to stand in one spot. And God, it's incredibly difficult to explain what it does. It lets you shoot. Like, you almost need a sheet of paper to understand it once you can read it. But
That sounds like some of the Black Mage abilities.
yeah, it's a fun move once you get it, but it enhances the ping dependency of Ninja
Sure.
a little bit even more. So I think people don't like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like abilities that root you or require you to not move are something you want to explore in the design space of an MMO, but especially this game that's so focused on combat mobility.
Yeah,
I feel bad for Black Mages, for example.
Yeah. Regular ninjutsu, you get to move, and now I'm using all the same moves quicker, but I can't move, and it defeats my mechanical memory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, poor Black Mages. Remains to be seen if I can level a Black Mage and get used to being rooted.
Black Mage apparently has the highest job satisfaction currently of DPS at least.
I heard as much too. That's kind of why I started leveling one a second ago. People like it. I want to see what it's all about.
He's a sexy frogman. I like the final boss music in this expansion. Cool.
Yeah.
because I always level my crafters and gatherers way ahead of the main job in these expansions, like, finishing a dungeon is a huge deal. I'm like, shit, I can finally get to, like, 20 crafting or gathering nodes that I want. Look away.
My fucking ability spun me around.
Oh,
Toad Choir.
not my fault.
He must have had a tell for the direction he was going to face with that. I think Crippling
He
Blow
aims
is a
at
tank
someone.
buster. Funambulist Fantasia. Oh, cool. I think I get it. Oh shit! Nope. Didn't
Oh,
get
shit.
it well enough. That's yeah.
Gotta be agile
I
like
thought
a
maybe
ninja.
it had a more forgiving box on which you could walk on it.
That's why I
That's
need to
kind
heal
of him
off.
to
I
set
would
you back
actually
instead
see
of
you
instant
underneath
killing
you.
you. Nope. Alright. It's a cool mechanic though, I dig it. I need to just point the camera straight up. This is actually kind of hard to do on a controller for once. Hopefully another chance to try it. Thanks, guys. I love they give you the shame buff too, in case anyone didn't see you fall. It's great. Pug killer. Whoa!
What the fuck?
Looks like
Mafia.
Kahulin? Kuchulain? I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Kuchku.
I
Probably
think
not
Bravely
pronounced
Second taught me to
Kuchulain.
pronounce it
That's-
Kahulin.
Oh my god.
Corrosive Bile. Tissimo. Tank Buster. It's interesting. I feel like in some ways, they're getting really. Like, there's a formula to almost every boss fight in the game. Like, they almost always have a tank buster. They almost always have a raid damage attack. Oh shit! I think that can be a Sunid.
Oh yeah.
Used to have a AoE Asuna on Warrior. Go
Go away.
Okay, that's the way he's facing, I think.
Toaded me.
Buster.
Toad you back.
Oh no, we're not going to get to see the little mini game again. Let's just end the video with shame having failed all 3 times. I'll do it in trust and no one will know. Is it like as small as the bridge appears to be? I walked over to like, there's no way it's actually that small twice.
It looked like it was that small.
Yeah.
Philip, there's this button you're probably not used to pressing. It's called the limit break.
Oh, who does that?
Ba-boom!
Melee DPS.
Oh, you're right.
Notice
I mean, I'll take it if you don't want it.
Alice say like instantly limit breaks if you do trust.
Really?
Like the moment it fills up. That was a cool fight.
You're right, though. I haven't been limit breaking because of Gunbreaker. That's exactly right.
That's a cool looking spear. Of course, I'm not on Dragoon and I greeted a 19 on it.
I'll pass on it if you want it,
Yeah.
even though it's Carpenter.
Alright, so we've got in battle, like precise navigation puzzle. When are we going to have in-battle jumping puzzle?
I know, right? I'm excited for that. Alright, the plan today is to go ahead and push the next 8 or so MSQ quests and do the trial that's after this, so if you're watching on the future, there should be a second video uploaded that you can jump right to. Thanks, folks.